Hello everyone and thank you back. Hello everyone and thank you for coming back to yet another episode of The Gloving Paradigm, where I am your host Peter, aka LP Dubuque, the cringiest glover on YouTube.
That was so terrible, I think you gave me cancer!
You know, I should stop trying to be proud of that, but you know what? This is what the people call me, and you know what? I don't give a damn.
You don't care?
I don't care.
There you go, you're learning, my friend. You're learning.
So this week we're going to continue on with round 1 of the IGL Scorecard Comp. So this is part 2. If you have not seen part 1, please go check it out over here. You'll see it right there in that little corner. You see this little thing I'm holding up? Yeah, right there. Hit this. If you have not seen it, go ahead and watch it. Yes, I know these are very, very long episodes. I thought it was a smart idea to cut it in half and be like, yeah, they will watch one half and then they get the other half, so they don't have to sit there and watch 4 or 8 or 12 different videos just to watch all around one. And it still takes me a very, very long time to sift and edit through this particular round. Oh boy.
What a time to be alive.
But you guys know I have a guest on my show. It is Genghis Wrath. You guys have seen, if you've seen round 1, you will know it's him. But I'm not going to hold you guys up any further. Let's just go ahead and get right back into round 1. So moving on to our next people, we got Polymorph and Inari. This should be interesting. I've seen a few Polymorph shows. If I remember correctly, that was on... He was on GFC, right? I think Polymorph was in the open rounds of GFC, I think.
What? Man, I'm not privy to that.
What?
Oh, no.
No, why? Why would you do this?
Why? Okay.
Boo! Not cool!
Come on. Now that
No.
What? How? We can't opine. Why you do this? Why you do this? Come on. Don't. No, please go on.
Okay. No.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he submitted multiple. Like entries into the Google Forms.
Oh.
And Mr. Freckles might have just put the first one on there, but the second one, or like the third one, is the one that was the actual show. So I think that might have been what happened.
Okay. Well, let me.
Yo, wait. Can you try? Yeah. Oh. Hey.
I was just gonna say, let me get onto my Facebook. Let me go check my messages.
Much later.
No, that wasn't it. That.
Well,
That's okay. We tried. We tried, people. It was removed.
Yeah. Wait, though. You got a 4.
Yeah, he's
4-4-2, 2-1-2, 2-2-3. Yo, you got a 22. That's a solid score. Yeah, that's a pretty solid score.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who gets a 20 or higher, you got a very solid score. Like,
yeah.
Regardless of where you're placed.
Anyone who gets a 4 in complexity from Mr. Freckles, I want to see your show.
So yeah, if I think I will try to personally send a message. I'll personally send a message to Nathan to see if we can get the updated one, but so I can have it on the video. But unfortunately, we won't be able to opine on it. So I guess.
Yeah.
Guess we're just going to have to miss out on that one. But okay, I guess without further ado, we'll just go ahead and check out Inari's show. So I heard the name Inari a few times. I think I've seen a few shows. So we'll definitely get to see.
Inari is sick. I love Inari.
Oh yeah. So without further ado, Inari, show us what you got.
Show me what you got!
Yo, man, it's comes out.
Air guitar.
Ramen.
That was awesome. I like it.
Yeah.
that was very interesting. First things first, Genghis Wrath, go ahead, you start first, so I'll let you. We're at number 21, so scores are 343, 333, 323.
Wait, that is 20. Is that 27? Oh, that is 27, yeah.
That is 27.
Man, I had to like, do math
10,
in my head
19.
real fast. Like, wait.
Yeah, 10, 19, 20, yep, 27.
Yeah, no, so what he really had over his opponent was execution.
Yeah. I was very impressed by just the amount of commitment this person was able to pull off with the character at the very, very beginning. That intro, man, I like that intro because the whole air guitar really is like,
Yeah.
things like that is showing me as a viewer that you are going to get into something and just have a massive blast. It really shows that you took in the time to think about actually developing this feel of a character to give me. So, yeah, I overall enjoyed that. I really felt like there was a big mix of different concepts going on, like in terms of styles. Like there was some good amount of platforming, there was a lot of good tuttings, a lot of good whips. A lot of the slow combos are great.
Yeah.
Overall, is there any numbers that you think would have been improved, or do you think it would have been lower to you? Because I felt like they were pretty accurate. Again, they gave him a 3 on presence.
Actually, I feel like this is a good example to explain how you would be able to get a 4 in storytelling. Because that intro was great, but the outro didn't match the intro. If you had a clear, it was a very clear ending, but it was a more traditional loving ending. It didn't carry the character that you created forward. So I would say that in the middle, you did that move, and I feel like from there you could have incorporated something about the song because they are castaways, like to really portray your character more from it. And then at the ending, because I'm not privy to the music video or anything for that song, but I feel like if you did like more nods towards the theme of the song itself for your character, that would, boom, easy 4.
Yeah.
That intro was life. And
yeah, and I felt like when he did the whole like salute thing and looking around, like that was very much what I felt like would give me the sense of a castaway. So, if he like ended if he was listening to the song and ended it where he was going like this and then went like this and then ran off camera, I would have been like, yes, 5 on storytelling, like max points.
yeah, exactly, dude. Because that might have even maxed out complexity for me at least.
Yeah, because to me it shows your level of commitment to the role that you were pulling off. But see, I think that's what people are going to take away from that.
Complexity isn't always physical. It's not always like I can do the craziest abstracting and I'll still get a 1.
Yeah, I definitely will agree with that. That you can do things and still get a 1 on it because if you're not committing to it fully, we're going to feel that. If we don't feel that full commitment to it, it will show. But yeah.
Dude, super solid show though. I loved it.
Yeah. Very, very dynamic, very energetic.
Yeah, that was great.
It definitely played to the song in my opinion. So can't really complain much further on that. But I will certainly say the lessons that we should take away from that one, at least when it comes to that storytelling, is do what you need to do to sell me on your story. Tell me do what you need to do to sell the characters. So like doing stuff like that where you're like this and you're like, you see something, you point off and then run off camera, you're adding to the story. Like that's more than just what your moves are doing. So, but without further ado, we'll go with our next round of contestants, which is we got, how many rounds we got left?
Oh man.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Dude, this next one, I am super invested. I'm so invested in this.
I am so ready.
In this matchup.
Yep. So we got Juddy versus Hypno.
So good. Both of these guys monsters. This is basically OG versus new gen.
Yeah, and I'm very, very excited to see this. I see a lot of Juddy's videos on Instagram more than GL, so I've been kind of following him there. Hypno, I don't think I can recall seeing any of your shows, but you know what? That's fine because I'm going to see one anyways.
Oh.
So, Juddy, show us what you got.
Show me what you got.
Woo! All right. Oh man,
Dude.
that was awesome. I loved every second of that. All right, what number? All right, 22.
Man, so much investment.
Okay.
Dude, so invested, so much energy.
I am going to say that was probably the most strongest form of character storytelling I've seen in a while. Like, this man went hard on committing to the whole bit of loved it.
Yeah.
The whole zombification, the whole animating thing, and then all right, let's look at the scores. So 333, 334, 325. I think that's the first 5 we saw in musicality this far. Let's double check that. Yep,
Yeah.
that is the only 5 of round 1 that has got a 5 on musicality. And I do not disagree with that at all. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we gotta talk about this one. This one like needs some breakdown. So, Genghis Wrath, you start breaking it down first. What were the things that you really, really liked? Because there's a lot of things I loved.
Just it was he hit everything that he needed to. Like he murdered it. Like you see some of it, even though sometimes it was really simple moves, the way that he used the texture really matched the character that he was portraying as well. Because the character from the start was very robotic. I'm actually a little surprised that he didn't get a 4 in storytelling. But I kind of get it because it balances out because he got a 5 in musicality. Just that intro and that ending where he kind of winded down. Man.
Not only that, but he did what he did at the very beginning. He did the whole contortion animating thing at the end of it as well. So, again, full circle story. He did what I would call a hero's journey storytelling show. Which, if to a lot of people who don't know, this is something I kind of talk seldomly. A hero's journey story is you start from what you did at the very beginning comes full back around to make that perfect circle of a story. You know, you start at your home, you come outside of your home, do your adventure, and then come and return home. Like, that's what he did, and he was able to pull it off. So that's what I call the well-rounded show in terms of storytelling. I really wish he got the 4, but there were parts where storytelling took a bit of a back seat or passenger seat as the musicality took the driver's seat.
That's true. Yeah.
But man, oh man, that musicality, like he was hitting all the sounds, he was making it produce. If anyone watched So You Think You Could Dance, there was the audition video that or the audition episode that Fiction was in. When he auditioned onto that show made me feel that. Like, I felt like he was giving me entertainment with his character and everything. Just, ooh, love it. Yeah, other than that, I can't really agree with the scoring. Like, that's, yeah, smashed it.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, next up, we got Hypnode. Yeah. So, any other final parts before we go ahead and start watching this Genghis Wrath?
I think we need to watch this one before I can say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is what you're going to say kind of predicated on what both shows present?
I don't want to spoil the show. We need to like see it and then I'll like rant.
All right. Well, without further ado, Hypnode, show us what you got.
Show us what you got.
Would you be my American boy? Hey sister, it's really, really nice to meet ya. I just met this 5'7" guy who's just my type. Like the way he's speaking, his confidence is peaking. Don't like his baggy jeans, but I like what's underneath it. And no, I ain't been to MIA. I heard the Cali never rains and New York's wide awake. First let's see the West End, I'll show you to my brethren. Liking this American boy, American boy. Take me on a trip, I'd like to go someday. Take me to New York, I'd love to see LA. I really want to come pick it with you. You'll be my American boy, American boy. La 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 la. Will you be my American boy, American boy? American boy.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Alrighty, let's see. You are number 23 on the score ranking.
That matchup was so close. Like so close.
Yes, that's
29 to 28.
that is a difficult show. I'm already looking at it. I'm just like, ooh boy, okay. So
I know, dude. That match, that was a finals match, and it happened round 1.
yeah, that definitely was a finals match.
Man.
So first things first. What is this one? Oh, precision. So forearm position 3-3, 3-3-3, and 3-2-4 for a grand total of 28 points. precision wise, yeah, I definitely would agree. 4.
Yeah.
There was so many things. He had such crisp, clean lines, and when he brought his hands together, when he wanted them to touch and connect, the lines were perfect. Like I can't say anything more than that, but those lines were perfect. So many people are jealous of that. Yeah. So let's see. Is there any other parts on the scorecard you want to talk about for him, or?
I don't know. I kind of just want to rant headcanon.
Oh, you want to rant? All right.
So I mentioned that this was in my headcanon. It's like an OG versus new gen. Because Hypno, part of IM, he's been gloving for I guess nearly a decade now. I'm not sure if he hit 10 years, maybe only like 8. The thing he has in his show, I think he just underestimated his opponent because I think only he knew who he was facing, and Juddy didn't. I feel like Juddy would learn a lot from Hypno, even though Hypno lost this round. So if you're watching Juddy, I would recommend like either hitting him up or watching more of his shows, because there's a lot of similarities between your styles and there's a lot of differences, and I feel like, you know,
yeah, those would really like.
It'd be super dope to see you kind of adapt all that.
Yeah, I definitely can see a lot of commonalities, and then I still see a good amount of differences in terms of their approach to their show. I felt like, who is it? Why am I bad with names? I'm so bad with names. I felt like Hypno really was much more just being precise over everything, trying to get that very technical precision that he got, which he did. He got a 4 on it. Over having that kind of sense of like telling us a story with a character. That's probably why he got a 3, which he had a good strong middle, beginning, middle, and end. Like everything formed very, very well. But in terms of getting that extra point on up to that 4, if he had what Juddy had as a character, you know, and so I would honestly say both of you guys should be studying each other's videos and learning from each other.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you two should take away from this.
Oh, but also this is a good point to say, never underestimate your opponent.
Exactly.
Never underestimate your opponent. Yeah.
Yeah. If the standings came out, like I kind of want to see how a competition would work if you post the standings of who you're going to go up against and give them like a week to come up with their video before submitting. You know what I mean? I would definitely like to see kind of that open transparency of like, okay, this is who my opponent is. I get some time to study their stuff and see what I can come up with, because I think that would be a very interesting comp to see. So take notes, people who want to throw comps.
That does sound like a fun variation.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So let's see.
But also if I remember right, I forgot who it was, but Hypno took the place of somebody. He was like the first person the bracket was made.
Yeah, I heard that some people just didn't submit, and it's kind of poopy, because I know there was other people who wanted to be in, but they didn't record because they didn't know if they were going to get in. So I think for future reference, if you're on standby, just make sure you have a video ready. So just in case the people don't submit, then you guys can just be blooped right in. They don't have to wait. But
yeah, always have a video ready. Side note, even I had a video ready just in case Mr. Freckles hit me up like, hey, I need to fill a spot. I'd be like, yeah, dude, I'm in. Send. So you never know. You never know. Sadly, Riptide also didn't know when the thing was due. Apparently, sadly.
Oh. Well, that's sad. But you know what? We do get to have a show from Pleasure, and this guy has made some waves in the community recently.
Some waves is a good way to say it.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is that if you're not in pit battles, I highly suggest getting into pit battles, because that's where a lot of fresh content's coming out, and that's where a lot of activity in terms of the gloving community has been happening. And there's one particular pit battle that, if you haven't seen it yet, Go watch it at your own risk.
We don't need to hear about that. Thank you.
And
I
I'm
love
going
the
to-
smile too. The smile just makes this even better.
Oh yeah, so without further ado, Pleasure, show us what you got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got.
You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. 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 You're such a
That song
I'm a
choice.
sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I like my dick stuck. I buy you a sick fuck. I buy you some new tits. I get you the nip up. How you start a family, the condom slipped up. I'm a sick fuck, I'm inappropriate. I like hearing stories, I like that host shit. I wanna hear most shit, I like the host shit. Send me some more shit, you trifling hoe, bitch. Such a fucking hoe, I love it. Your boyfriend is a whore, make love it. You're such a fucking hoe, I love it. You're such a
I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck.
I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I like my dick stuck. I buy you a sick fuck. I buy you some new tits. I get you the nip up. How you start a family, the condom slipped up. I'm a sick fuck, I'm inappropriate. I like hearing stories, I like that host shit. I wanna hear most shit, I like the host shit. Send me some more shit, you trifling hoe, bitch.
Alright. Okay.
Oh man. Ah,
And that would have been an interesting match to watch if Tide posted. But alright, Genghis Wrath. What do you think?
that was certainly a pleasure to watch.
That I okay, if I had to say who was probably the most entertaining Glover thus far in round one, Pleasure takes the cake, because that was probably one of the most entertaining live shows I've watched. Not only that, I honestly felt Pleasure is like the perfect hybrid amalgamation of Parrot with full body dancing and Starstream Tut with the facial presence, because I swear to God, he was giving me McKinley vibes
Yeah.
hardcore. And I love it. I love every second of it.
I feel like he has a clearly defined character with his gloving persona, and the way that he attaches himself to it makes his shows very entertaining. We talked about lighting earlier, and I feel like for his type of show, he needs that type of lighting. So it worked out really well. If anything, personally, since I kind of record in the same type of environment, I like to have as bright as I can, and then I'll use color correction and make it darker. So I would recommend if you have color correction with your whatever you used to edit, maybe making it a little darker. But dude, no, that's the perfect lighting for your type of show. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, I would certainly say when it comes to having more full body incorporations into your show, the more lighting you're actually going to need, because in total darkness, I'm not going to see you bopping your head. You know, I'm just going to see a hand stop here and then start going back. It's like, what would just, so I would certainly say Pleasure's kinetic dynamics are off the f***ing charts. Like, this dude, holy crap, man. Like, I have never seen such beautiful kinetic energy being transferred through the entire body. Like, all of his movements transferred beautifully without skipping a beat. I mean, I think he got a 3 on precision, which I can see because a lot of fast movements. But man, I would give him a 4 on just kinetic dynamics alone. Yeah, but overall, I think 3 for his precision is probably accurate. What did you get on? You got a 4 on complexity, which yeah, that was very, very complex.
Yeah, no, the move that sold me is when he had that one arm. He made a whole the setup for that was beautiful, and then he threw it. And that was great.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, really feel like I definitely agree with a lot of the things that the judges are saying here in terms of his score between 343, 222, 334. Like, yeah, his musicality was extremely strong. Storytelling was extremely strong. Probably one of the strongest speed controls I've seen in round 1 thus far. But other than that, we can definitely move. All right, very excited about this one. So our next round of contestants is going to be Comets versus Snaps. Know Snaps really well. I know he's been working really, really hard and grinding really hard. I know he's prospecting for 2 different teams at once, which kudos to anyone who's doing that. I would be exhausted at a point trying to do multiple teams like that at once. But I think without further ado, let's go ahead and see what Comet has to show for us.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure if this is the same Comet that I know, because I've seen a couple of Comets around, I think. So I'm very interested to see this one.
Yeah. So without further ado, Comet, show us what you got.
Show me what you got.
Alright. So, first things first, is that the comment you were thinking of?
You know, I think it is. I think it is, but I don't want to assume that that's the same guy because if it is the same dude, then I remember watching his shows in Lights On, and they were like good, but this progression is pretty sick. I feel like it's because it feels old school, but it's still very it works towards the card.
Yeah, I did see they said YLM, so I know that's the You Lost Me team. So I'm like, all right, I know that team. I just don't. I'm really bad with rosters.
Fucking idiot.
No one ever keeps a good roster of their teams anymore nowadays, or at least I hope they start now. Because I know in the early days
I just don't want to. Yeah, because I'm also pretty bad with names.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible with names. People who have watched my channel so far know that I'm really bad with names. However, the gut scores on 332, 333, and 222. So, is there any parts on this scorecard that you feel like the judges kind of missed on? Because I actually felt like he did a really, really good job on everything.
I don't think it's that the judges missed anything, because I agree with this score for what I saw, but I feel like there's things that he was doing that I couldn't see through the camera.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. That's probably why he got a 3 on precision, because there was just certain things that I guess he was trying to convey to us that just didn't get conveyed through the camera. Maybe that's probably from the lighting.
Because how we talked about lighting, I feel like maybe even a slightly different setup, maybe something that's like angled lower, then he could do something a little more. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's something that the camera doesn't catch, and that's why he got lower scores than I feel like he should have got.
Yeah, I definitely probably agree with that. Certain things as well as when it comes to like musicality, I definitely agree on, because where he sits with his pacing and stuff is really, really good. He's really good at following tempo, but that's what he was just doing. He was just following tempo. He wasn't really emulating or evoking the music to me, as opposed to, hey, here's the music being played and I'm following along.
Maybe it is song choice as well.
Well, I'm not gonna knock him on the song choice. I like that song, and I like Future Funk, and that was a very Future Funky song.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say this though, if you guys don't have time to do the overlays of your songs, send it my way. $5, I'll take care of it for you. You'll never have to worry about it. I just, Cosmo has made me an overlay snob. So when I don't hear an audio overlay, I'm just like, oh. But alrighty. So next up, we got Snaps, which I'm hoping with all of his grinding on tutting and stuff that I get to see some tuts in this show.
I'm a little scared. I want to see him do his best, but I feel like it's not gonna live up to my head expectation.
Yeah, I can definitely see where that can happen. So, but without further ado, Snaps, show us what you got.
Show us what you got.
That was very, very impressive there, Snaps. But Genghis Wrath, what do you think?
Yo, this is another one of those OG versus new gen fights. Oh man. But instead of style monsters, these guys are presentation monsters.
Yeah, I definitely will agree with that. This was a battle of presentation rather than just personal style. So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, his
But I
scores
love-
are 333, 222, and 223 for a grand total of 22 points. First things first. I like that he has Inovas on his fingers and they're 2 different colors. Because to me, it is him approaching what is very standard in terms of having your thumbs being different ones to your middle fingers being that. And kind of like just reconfiguring your colors like that is always something that's going to be a plus in my book. So I like to see more of that. Would have been really cool if he actually incorporated doing some impact sequencing with like M1s and M2s. Because if he got like M1s turned on and started flailing like this, I would have been like, yes!
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's actually a great way to up your complexity score, even your storytelling, if you use it right.
Oh yeah, and I definitely would say it probably would add a little bit more to. I think it. Well, did he get a 3? I think he got a 3. Yeah, he got a 3 on presence, so it wouldn't add any more. But I also would think that if he got a 2 on presence, that would add a 3. Yeah. Other than that, I'm looking at his scores right now, and I don't really think there's anything I would actually disagree on.
Yeah. Actually, I probably would have only given him a 2 for complexity because of how he pushed out his punchlines.
Yeah, I definitely can see that.
I love the show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, overall that I will certainly say I liked that he used the tuts as a framing step, where he went like this and he used it to pull himself up and actually pull himself down. So he's incorporating.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
He's incorporating his framing to himself and to the show. So the only thing that happened is that he went just a little too high. So that's the only thing I think he probably got knocked on. Other than that, overall that was just a very entertaining show. I like that he goes like this and he cuts it off and lets the music play a little bit. I know that doesn't add anything to the scorecard, but I like how he does that and it cuts off and you just still hear the music, because I get that venue/festival vibe where somebody ends the show and you're just like, whoa, yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Yeah, it really matches that too, because it's from the start, it was very disorienting. And so to just end it like that, you're like, bruh.
Yeah, definitely adds to the show. So definitely snaps. Definitely keep that going. But without further ado, we got our next round of contestants being Shutter and Danny Phantom. If I remember correctly, Shutter should be Snaps' brother?
Yes, definitely.
I think so.
I feel like I should know this. And it's brother or his cousin.
There is a relation there. That's all I can remember.
Yeah. They are both. Yeah. Are they both camera terms?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they're both camera terms, and that's great.
Oh, okay. So, either way, I'd say without further ado, Shutter, show us what you got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got.
We'll edit it post.
was an interesting way to end the show. All right.
That's a lot of potential. I feel the potential in my spleen.
Yeah, I definitely would agree on that. So his scores are 333, 322, 223. So Genghis Wrath, how did you feel about that? What potential do you think he can go?
Well, with these scores, I definitely feel like, I feel like they were being kind of nice. They went, because there were some that are kind of up in the air, and they went with the higher one. Like I would go with his precision, his use of space. I feel like I might have went one lower than them, but dude, I love that song. That was a great show.
Yeah,
I don't get to see a lot of shows from him.
Mm-hmm.
He's on my team, like this team. Yeah, but it's always a lot of fun getting to watch a show of his. But for a competition, I feel like he was ready, but he wasn't. This wasn't the best example of a meta competition show.
Yeah, I felt like maybe he played it a little safe and didn't take a whole lot of risks. But with what he did did well. Other than that, I kind of see where you're coming from. There was a lot of things I felt like they were being a little generous on. I kind of always lean in the camp of, if you're kind of in between two numbers, always round it down, because then you are showing that there is room to improve. Other than that, is there anything else you want to say on that, or should we move on to Mr. Danny Phantom?
Well, I love the meta part, all the meta parts of that show, and especially I also loved how he used that bounce near the beginning. I feel like I wish he did that more. That would have been great.
Yeah, that definitely showed me that he was getting into the song really well, and that's always a good indicator to your viewers that you're getting into it. And so if people are getting knocked on points for that, it's just like, how else are you gonna know they're actually getting into it without seeing them incorporate their body into it? But with that being said, I think we can move on to the next contestant, Danny Phantom. I know this guy hangs out a lot in WWG as well. He does a lot of good things. He's been really, really grinding it really hard because he wants to get on teams, which, more power to him, I'll say.
Yeah,
Without further ado, Mr. Danny Phantom, show us what you got.
Show me what you got.
Okay. Feels. Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah. I'm digging it. I'm
Dude,
digging that.
man.
All right, so he's number
If I
2.
remember right, that reminded me that I think Shudder was part of the WWG Facebook before I joined it. So technically, this is a WWG babies battle, but like 2 years separate.
Yeah, I would definitely say like you can definitely see where there's that kind of like 2 different iterations of WWG Glovers, where you can see like the Facebook days influence and then the Discord data influences.
Yeah.
So one of the things I always like is when you see somebody come up really, really close and then they yank it really fast. You know what I mean? Where you have something up close and then all of a sudden something pulls it back really hard. Is to me, I like that more than the japper all the way up to the front. You know what I mean? Because you have this and that's okay, but I actually like it when this happens because there's just something about being pulled away from your view is just a reverse, like it's kind of like a reverse form of impacting, you know, and it's just as impactful as it coming straight in.
Yeah.
But let's see, his scores are 333, 322, and 223. That's a tie, but according to the notes over here, they said +1 points awarded by 3 out of 3.
Yo, it's literally the
so. That's how they did the tiebreakers. They voted on who pretty much threw the better show, I guess. Not sure.
Dude, it's literally the same.
Yeah, Genghis Wrath. What do you think?
That is the purest of ties. That tie like makes my liver feel like full.
I definitely would say yeah. I can see where they're very much tied on skill level and presentation. I don't really think I have any much more to say on that. I really think with how the judges scored it up and what all overall it was pretty good.
Like, dude, that is the toughest. Like, how do you? I think the only way that you can actually, because it says that they have a tie and then +1 point awarded by 3 out of the 3 judge vote. So, I mean, I guess you just have to go with potential round 2 video because I feel like Shudder had a lot of things that not that he repeated, but I feel like there's more potential with Danny Phantom's show. Like, this show felt safe. But if he goes on to round 2, maybe he'll open that bag a little bit more. And we'll get to see some, because he did have some really nice dynamic moments. So we might get to see more of that in round 2.
Yeah, I would definitely say there's one thing I would impart on him is definitely work on transitioning out of your clusters a little bit more, because there was times where he was doing his clusters and then he would just go whap and start going into liquid based concepts like that, and it just kind of felt a little jolting to me. Like I just felt like I was just like sitting in a chair and then somebody just like jolted me right to the next chair in that kind of way. So
right.
But he does move on to the next round by being awarded the additional point. But hey, at least you got somebody that was on the same level as him. So next up we have Cookie versus Krypton. Krypton did not submit a video, so he gets an automatic bye, which is fine. I don't recall this.
I really wanted to see his too.
I was really hoping he was going to do it too, and unfortunately he just did not submit, and it's really sad because that's lost content, Chris.
All right, I get it.
If he watches this episode.
Well, I think it's just I think it was a communication error. Maybe Mr. Freckles had like the wrong Krypton.
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprising. We have a Mumble and Mumbles, and we have a Crypto and a Krypton. So.
Yeah, maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, that probably is what happened. However, without further ado, I will certainly say this. Cookie, show us what you got.
Show us what you got.
Okay. Yeah.
I have bad news.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
totally on
tight.
board. What do you think, Genghis Wrath?
Yo, that show actually kind of reminded me of. I feel like Aki's show was kind of similar, where similar but different enough, respectively, with that color set. And then also, I loved his song choice. But those kinds of songs are dangerous for competition. You can really get engulfed with all the wubs. And I feel like at some points he did, but at other points he really shined through, especially at the beginning of the drop. That was my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I actually really liked that he came in and it was doing this and keeping up with the musicality on that part, because it was, to me, he was showing that he was acknowledging how the song was starting. Not only that, he was really kind of like showing you in the very beginning like how he knows his spatial awareness for the space provided.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so I definitely would say very interesting that he got a 4 on precision. One thing I know a lot of people will do, and this is a really easy way to kind of get away with the transition, is if you can't really know how to like transition out, like let's just say, I think he was doing like a very interesting form of a cluster, and you see him go like this, and then he goes into a bunch of wave stuff. To me, that's actually a very clever, simple, and easily get away with type of transition, because you are removing it to come up with a new formation. And not only that, this kind of stuff you're bringing, like you're telling something, it's like something's coming right at you. So really like that. Overall, is there anything on the scorecard you think he can do better, or you think that the judges might have thought differently on?
Because looking at the scorecard, I feel like, or actually, yeah, I feel like an easy way to get from that 2 to a 3 in speed control would be to have truly, because he did have a pretty good variety of speed, even though I don't think he like transitioned well into and out of the different speeds. I don't think he had like a real stop point besides the ending though. And with a song like that, you're kind of allowed a stop point, or like a really nice pause, like not pause, but like a slow down section.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that. So that would be a great easy way to get from a 2 to a 3. That could even increase your pacing and your storytelling as well, even though you had a 3 in pacing.
Yeah, I feel like he had his different speeds, but it was just like they were very specific miles per hour, is the best way I can put it. It's just like his fast speed was 60, his middle speed was 30, his slow speed was 15. Like it was literally bracket off like that. You didn't have this gradual acceleration deceleration effect that happens. So you definitely want to make sure that you are providing that as well for, on certain parts, especially if you like going from like this build up into a drop. Like, yeah, you have that big jolt of acceleration and speed. That makes sense, but not everything works that way. Sometimes you gotta build up to that speed. But believe, yeah, Cookie's going on to the next round as it is with 25 points. Gets a automatic bye because Krypton did not submit. All right, Genghis Wrath. All right, Genghis Wrath. We're getting to the last 4 shows, man. We're on our last 4 shows.
Yes! That's awesome!
So first things first. The next round of contestants is we at Steve versus Koopa. If that's the Cooper I think of, I'm going to be very, very excited because I think that might be the Cooper from Australia.
Well, gosh.
Wait, what? Okay. Now I'm interested. Now I'm invested.
Yes. If you guys have not followed any of the Australian Glovers, you're doing something wrong then, because Australian Glovers are coming out with some fire shows and doing some crazy stuff, man. Like, seriously, it's like a Renaissance version of when the Hawaiian Glovers took the spotlight. Like, man, Australians, guys are killing it. I'm telling you. But
That's some versions.
that's the best way I can describe it, because I remember when the Hawaiian gloving scene like really blown up into the public sphere of gloving, and a lot of people were talking about you guys. Yeah, so yeah, without further ado, Mr. Steve, show us what you got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got.
I love it already. Just that first move.
Okay, I see some commonalities happening between Glovers in terms of their editing, and I'm liking it. But Genghis Wrath, how do you feel about Steve's show, man?
Man, if I remember right, I think it was about 3 to 4 years ago now. He took a break from gloving, and then maybe about 2 years ago, he came back, and he came back way stronger. So don't be afraid to take a break if you need a break from gloving, because when you come back, there's potential for you to come back this strong. And oh man, everything he's definitely a glover to follow. That show was amazing. What was his?
So his score
he's
is
third. No, he's 32.
Yes. So he has 3-4-3, 3-2-3,
Yeah.
and
So you got
2-3-3, which is President's. Okay.
That makes sense, because some are up in the air. Storytelling could be a 3 or 2, so 2 makes sense.
Yeah, I think Duck went down to 2 to show that there was room for improvement, which is, to me, I like when people signal that. It's just like, there are room to improvement. You could get this, but I just felt like it just wasn't enough. So I want to show that there is room to improve. I would certainly say there is a reason why he is the champ of the pit battles list right now. He is not. I think he's still number 1. I don't remember the results of 30Ks versus Steve's pit battle, but I remember that was the title spot.
Yeah, that's right.
So overall, though, one thing I also would say, somebody's been studying their color theory, because I saw red and cyan. I did not see red and blue. I saw red and cyan, which are perfect complementary colors to each other. So good thing you guys are studying, because that's what we like to see.
I didn't think about that.
That was the first thing that caught my eye. I was just like, oh, cyan and red, perfect complementary colors. I think he's using Vex mode. If he's using the chromos, the chroma controls, or any variant that has the Vex mode on it, I think that's what he was using, because there was a lot more red than blue, but the blue was very much in the cyan spectrum. Therefore, it was popping out way more. So those little touches,
That's
guys.
a fair point. Oh no, I was just thinking that's a fair point. I didn't even think about how the cyan really kind of stood out amongst the red within his trails.
Yeah, that's what stood out to me really a whole lot. It was just like, yeah. And then I was like, okay, I know he has a lot of reds. I know one of them is just red. I think his middle fingers were just red. But I wasn't seeing like so much blue, and I had to sit there and look carefully. And I started seeing 4 red and then a blue. I'm like, oh, Vex mode, got it. But yeah, so next up we got Koopa, which I am seriously hoping that this is the Koopa from Australia, because if it is, I am going to be super excited.
Dude, yeah.
Oh!
That's hype, man.
Oh, it is! Yes!
It is, yeah.
Yes, this is Cooper from Australia. Yes, Aussie flows. He has some of the most unique flow from Australia, and oh man, if you guys do not follow this guy, you need to start following him, because beautiful, beautiful work. But without further ado, Koopa, show us what you got.
Show me what you got.
Interesting. Nice.
Oh, a digital liquid, man.
Yeah. I feel it in my spine. Okay. Oh.
Very nice.
Oh man.
Man.
Yo.
Oh, that was a show. That was a show, man. Oof.
Man, this is like awesome stuff right here.
Yeah, man, that was Cooper, my guy. Slaying it is always. So his scores were 332, 322, and 222 across the board, with a total score of 21. So, how do you feel about that Genghis Wrath? Where do you sit on that with the judges?
I would have given him a 3 in speed control.
Yeah, I definitely would give him a 3 as well.
Yeah, 2 in precision though.
2 in precision?
Yeah. I think I would have had to give him a 2 in precision.
Yeah, switched those two around, because I believe yeah, speed control has a 2. So if we switched that around, that would have been.
Oh yeah, he would still get the same score though. Yeah.
Yeah, he would still
But
end up with the same total score, but in terms of like
that was
highlights, yeah. Complexity, yeah, I feel like it hit 3. There was some things that he did were very, very complex, but the things that he did that were extremely complex were just little snippets. We didn't get like a full course meal out of it. That's probably what I think is the judges' standings on that. I don't know, how do you feel about that, Genghis Wrath?
he definitely has potential, and it looks like he has concepts, but he doesn't have solidified moves or solidified framework. So with one of those two, he can easily get a 4. With both of those, he can easily get a 5.
Yeah, Cooper, you got a lot of things going for you, and I know you can do better. I've seen you lab. I've seen you in the lab sessions.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing though. A lab versus a competitive show, dude, I would love watching like a 10-minute show of yours, but like a 2-minute comp show is completely different.
Yeah, that's certainly true. Well, if he was able to move on to the next round, I would have been telling him to better step it up, man, because I know the things that you're able to throw, and it blows everyone's minds every time they see it. But yeah, if you guys aren't following Cooper, I would definitely suggest doing so. He put some pretty good stuff on. Oh yeah, he's got some eyes on him. So
yeah.
All right, we are now at the final match of this round. Oh, Genghis Wrath, we've been burning through the day, but we are now reaching our tail end of this round. So first off, we have the Sorceress. I guess that's how you pronounce it?
Oh, the Sorceress?
I think so. Sorceress, yeah. That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, I think that's the Sorceress.
That's a word. It's a word, I guess.
Indubitably. I mean, my name's a name.
That is true. And some of the Indian tutters and glovers that we get from India have some very interesting names that I'm not going to try to pronounce, because I feel like I offend people when I butcher names. So, but without further ado, the Sorceress, show us what you got.
Show me what you got.
Ooh, okay. I've seen this guy in the lounge. Ooh, okay.
That was nice. I like these.
Yo. Okay, let's go.
Those compressions, though. Very interesting.
Man.
Alright, so he's number 35.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Okay.
Ooh, 20.
Yeah, you got a total score of 20. Let's see. 3 2 2 3 2 2 2 2 1 2 4.
Wow.
Okay. I definitely see a lot of the spots where they're pointing out where he needs to improve on. You did throw some things in there that I was actually really impressed on. Did you notice how he was doing his compressions that made it look like it was cluster walking? Like he
Yes.
literally like compressed to make it look like it walked up on the grid, and I was just like, you did a compression what people do to clusters to walk it on the grid like that, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
He used that like isopath of the compression, and that was fun. Or isopath of the fan. Yeah, that was pretty. That was entire. It was fun.
I was gonna say, Sorceress, better expand on those because I want to see more of that. That's something I haven't really seen, and that really caught my eye. Let's see, he got 2 on precision, which I kind of agree on. Storytelling wise, yeah, he kind of was a little bit all over the place in terms of his show. There wasn't that flow of structure that we know.
I feel like I would have been a lot harsher.
On which part?
Or maybe it's only because I only saw one watch through. Maybe on like subsequent ones, I would be like, no, that is a 2. But complexity, presence, transition, pacing, I would have given 1 less. Musicality being a 4, yes. Speed control being a 2, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'll definitely say this.
There was just
I was gonna say,
or even use of space. His use of space. The camera couldn't contain him.
yeah, so one thing I was going to say, make sure you keep your camera lenses clean and make sure that you check to make sure when you go to use a camera lens clip thing for your phone, I'm under the assumption that he's using his phone. Definitely want to make sure that you put in a well-lit room and check to make sure that your edges and everything are lined up properly, because a lot of it started fuzzing out. So it told me that it's just a little skewed from the actual lens. So definitely make sure you're checking that. The other thing I would certainly say as well is I don't think he fully understands his framing, body frame all the way yet. Like he understands the form of framing, but I don't think he's fully like understood or is aware of his body frame, like how to frame his movements with his body. But yeah, he has a natural form of musicality to him. Like that was his strongest point, was reflected in the scorecard as well, is that he has really good musicality. So yeah, I would definitely say, just parting words on that is just definitely keep working on what you're doing. What you're doing is catching our eyes. So work on it, refine it. Those compression walks though that we saw, we want to see you expand on them.
That was pretty great. Yeah.
Yes. Expand on those, come back with those. We want to see more. Yes.
Give us that. Yeah. If you can make a whole show with just those, man. Yo.
Ooh, I would be losing my mind. That's all I'm saying, people. I would lose my mind.
Same.
5 minutes later.
All right, last show of this round. Let's do this. Tomo.
And Tomo, super hype.
Yep.
I love the shows.
Yep, we're going to end the round with Tomo, which I'm very excited with because Tomo, I believe Tomo just recently is one of the new members of the new team of Venom, right? I believe so.
Oh, really? Yo, I wasn't privy to that.
If I'm wrong, my audience, please do not hesitate to correct me. You know how much I like to be corrected when I'm giving out false information. So, without further ado, Tomo, show us what you got.
Show us what you got!
Oh! I knew it!
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I feel good.
Oh, what? Why? Why did you stop? Alright. Let's get the scores shown up here on screen for a bit.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Genghis Wrath. How did you feel about that show, man?
I'm so thankful that someone threw an impacting show, and I'm glad that it was the last one. Yo, this round 1 finished with an impact.
Yep, and I love it. I absolutely freaking love that. First things first, to a lot of people who are aspiring to become impactors, him not having his thumbs on for that introduction to get it in there, mwah, that is exactly how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So, let's see, his scores are 3-3-2, 3-3-2, 3-2-3, 2-3-3, which is a grand total of 24.
I've been told that impacting is hard to judge, and I've seen people discuss how to judge impacting, and I've also compared it to how I would judge abstracting and how other people have judged abstracting, because it's styles that are very different from the meta, but it's also very similar to itself. You know what I mean?
Yes. So, my understanding when it comes to impacting is very, very well in depth, just because of how long I've been in the glowing community. So, understanding what it is that impacting is trying to do is how you're supposed to look at judging impacting. So, if anyone who doesn't know what impacting's goal is literally to disrupt, disorient, and surprise your viewer with overwhelming your senses. And keeping it within the frame of the box. When it came to a lot of his movesets, they were really good. I thought it was really clever that he actually had his hand just low enough to hide the lights, but keep the top of his hand exposed. Because when he turned on the other light that was above the camera frame as well, you saw it show up. So he was able to keep himself within the box as long as he could. And that's one of the big goals. Now, the camera can't replicate the visual distorted effects that your brain's going to have when you're actually getting it in person. So that's, you can't use that as your merits, but with the techniques that go within using box theory and within impacting, I felt like he's very much on track with a lot of things. I would certainly say as long as he doesn't accidentally fall out of the box too much, we should be fine. Those little moments of breath when you come out of the box to come right back into the box is what is needed, because your eyes need that moment to settle before you can shock them again. And I felt like he did that a good amount of the times, but not all the times. But when he did go in for the big depth perception stuff, like when he did the whole thumb things, perfect. Absolutely. Like, if I was only judging that on his impacting, I would have given him like 10 out of 10. Because you're hitting me with it, and I'm being overwhelmed by your movements.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
move by move, he was solid. But overall as a show, it wasn't the best that he could have done.
Yeah. The other thing is, and I know to a lot of people, the best way I'm going to describe impacting in a competition, especially when you have a time limit format, it's like recording and like shooting an entire movie, and then you're in the editing room and you're literally trying to cut this 5-hour movie into 90 minutes, And that's what it feels like going with impacting. So trying to figure out how you're going to, or at least trying to find a song that's going to allow you to pull off this sense of progression in a short span is really hard, because impacting is probably one of the strongest steeped in storytelling aspects of gloving as itself, just by the modal sequences that it does, it follows storytelling to a T. So it's really hard to give a short summary of an impact show like that. That's why I felt so disappointed when the show ended, because it's incomplete. And that's where I felt like what happened is that the show became incomplete that way. What else did you feel? What else do you feel on that?
At first I wanted to slightly disagree with the judges, give him a 3 in precision and a 3 in storytelling. But after thinking about it, I think after a couple watches, you see that the intro and how long it was and the things that he was doing in it really detrimented the impacting that followed. Like, if he cut most of that intro out, he would have got like a 3, maybe even a 4 out of storytelling, and definite 3 in presence. Because when you're impacting, you do have to get that suspense, and you do need to showcase each of the modes. But in a competition, it winds up being that you need to start strong. So having very simple movements having a smaller simple movements would have been better for the intro, because I feel like he used too much space. It wasn't as illuminated as the rest of the show. So I think that's what really lowered the score. But it was an amazing show. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic show. I think one of the things that if you're somebody who's studying impacting and learning impacting, if we take the traits from this scorecard and the ones that you are going to try to get to the most or try to hit the most is precision, storytelling, and pacing. Those are your 3 strongest, those are like the 3 pillars of an impact show. Is you have to be extremely precise, and unfortunately, to truly measure a impacting show on precision is you have to have it in person, because if they're not hitting it in the sweet spot every single time and showing you those precise movements, you're not going to catch that on camera because you don't have that kind of feel. But in person, if they're hitting the sweet spots, they're holding their pacing and carrying it through, you're going to sell it. I think a point I would say when it comes to doing an impacting show for a comp is make your intro as short as possible to get as quickly as possible into doing your impacting sequencing. Because that's what people are going to focus on. Like, yes, that was literally a perfect intro for an impacting show, if there was no time limit. I mean, you were able to draw me in, lull me into that sense of a trance, and then started blasting my senses like crazy. Perfect. You can't get that in a comp video right now. So a good strong takeaway I would say is have your intros really, really short where you have no thumbs, but get into those thumbs as soon as possible, but make sure you're not going too quickly. You gotta give us a moment to breathe before you just with them. But yeah, I believe that is all of it, my guy.
Actually, like in contrast to that, sort of, I feel like 2 great impacting shows that I've seen for a competition, I think it was Lights On season 2 or 3, Corduroy versus Puppet. If I remember right, Corduroy just started with his light, with like his blue light out, and then he started the show. And Megatron show was just great. All of his shows were just great.
Yeah. I would say, what was it? I don't remember which one, but it's a Boss 2012 Fry. Everyone knows which one I'm talking about. It's like one of his most well-known shows ever. If you want to figure out a good way to start a comp impact show, watch how he starts it in that video specifically, because he gave a good enough intro to immediately start going to his impacting. So I think when it comes to a lot of people who are going to be doing a lot more competitions and impacting, definitely start focusing on comp videos with impactors in it that are successful, because Fry won that comp. But yes, I think that's pretty much all of it. That is all the rounds. That is all the contestants. We got all the videos in. How do you feel overall in the conclusion of it all? How do you feel about round one?
Yeah, I low key want to see the matchups, so I'm gonna try to pull that up on my screen. But yeah, no, dude, that super hype. Like I'm so glad I got to watch all the round one videos. I loved it. That was sick.
Yeah, dude, seriously, I am super excited that you were able to come on to my show. Super excited for round two, because I know that one's not going to take as long for us to record. I'm going to...
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I'm debating on whether or not I want to put the semifinals and the finals rounds in one video as well, just because it would be just a little bit more content. I don't want to, it's like, here's watch 2 videos and then go home. You know what I mean? Having the semifinals and then cut to the finals is probably going to be, probably be better. I don't know. We'll see when we get there, I guess. But yeah, so Genghis Wrath, is there...
Another thing, if you wanted to...
Go ahead. I was going to say, is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, another thing, if you wanted to, was... at the semifinals and the finals, you can go through their like journey, you know, and then you can kind of compare the scores that they got then, because that's the thing that's great about comps like this. You know who's judging you. It's Mr. Freckles, Tuna, and Duck. So you can learn how they're gonna judge you with the scorecard, and continuously improve with that. So that's my favorite part about comps like this.
Yeah,
and also the fact that I got to see from like Shutter and Cooper, guys that I don't actually get to watch a lot of shows from.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited because there's a lot of new faces. There's a lot of new names that I saw in this comp. And that was one of my biggest parts to jump on and start covering comps like this, is because not a lot of people are doing it. We need somebody doing it, and we need it. That's the stuff we need. So, Genghis Wrath, you want to plug your social medias before we head off real quick? So if there's any places that anyone can reach you, you let them know where they can reach you at.
Well, I mean, if you can hit me up on Facebook or on YouTube. On YouTube, I have my channel. It's just Genghis Wrath Light Show Artist, and you can message me on there or whatever. I'm just super hyped that you got me on this. So thanks for inviting me here, and I got to watch all those round one videos. That was super hyped. But no, thanks, man.
Yeah, you'll find all of his stuff in the description below. Do not hesitate to go ahead and click on that. Other than that, I'm going to send this off so I can let Genghis Wrath go home and do his thing. We've been recording straight through for about 3 hours straight, and I'm pretty sure he's like got to go do stuff. I'm ready to go get stuff done. Yeah.
75 years later.
Alrighty, and that is it. That is all of round one. Finally got through all of this. Yes, I will sit here and tell you this right now. After recording for 4 hours straight, doing all of it at once, and then cutting it in half, probably wasn't the best idea in my opinion. I probably could have gotten away with editing into 4 parts, and you guys would have a little bit more digestible content, I guess. Yeah, I know. As you guys can already tell, I learned a lot of lessons right off the bat when it comes to coverage, especially when it comes to competitions. So I know what I need to do for round 2. I know a lot of the things that I need to change so it would look better for round 2. Not only that, I need to remind myself that delay is a thing that exists. So I got to wait until I get a response from Genghis Wrath. I get it.
Fucking idiot.
However, this is all a learning experience. For God's sakes, this is the first time I ever thought of covering, and this was like spur of the moment type deal of, hey, I want to cover this comp because no one else is doing it. But there's other reasons why this needed to be covered, except for just me trying to get more stuff for my channel.
Oh.
But yep, other than that, I think that's all you need to know. I will congratulate everybody who's made it past round 1 into round 2. Unfortunately, you guys did not get this feedback until way after round 2 has already been submitted. So hopefully next time when somebody wants to do coverage of a comp like this, that I will be able to jump on it as soon as the videos come in, and then I can record and watch them and all that stuff. So yes, there was already a lot of lessons that I learned through my editing process of this comp. So don't worry, I learned my lessons. If there's things that you feel like I need to know, please let me know. You have the various social media outlets you can hit me up at. Please consider donating to my Ko-Fi if you wish to help me out continue making this kind of content. And of course, please go follow Genghis Wrath and all of his stuff. I linked it all down in the description below. You'll find it there. I also put it there in part 1 of round 1 as well. So if you want to check there, go have fun there. Other than that, thank you to everybody who's shown support to me thus far. If it wasn't for your continued silent war support, I wouldn't be as far as I have. However, you guys can still donate to my Ko-Fi. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't, for God's sakes. Come on, it's there. It's not going to hurt you, and it's not going to take any money out of your wallet for hitting the subscribe button. Just go do it.
No, I don't really feel like it.
Other than that, thank you to everybody who's watched. Thank you to everybody who's shown support. I absolutely love you guys, but I am your host, Peter, aka LPD Dubuque, and I'll see you guys all next week.